Good afternoon, guys, or good evening, depending on what time you are watching this video. Yesterday we talked about horizontal lines and vertical lines. Please remember horizontal lines pass through the y-axis. They have equations of y equals. Vertical lines pass through the x-axis, so they have an equation of x equals. Today we're not going to talk about horizontal and vertical lines. We're actually going to take a look again at the axes, though. We're going to remember that the y-axis moves up and down, the x-axis moves left and right. I'd like you to pull off the ordered pairs of the highlighted points. This point right here is at 0, 5. It falls on the y-axis. It has a number of 5 for y, and the x value is 0. This point right here falls on the x-axis. Its ordered pair is -3, 0. I had to move left 3 and I didn't move up or down at all. X being -3, y being 0. I'd like you to do this for the next 3 problems. Again, label the axis that it falls on and also give me the ordered pair. Please pause the video as you do this. I'd like you guys to take a look over your work and see how you did. Again, I want you to also start trying to think about relationships that you can use to describe what's happening on the y-axis versus what's happening on the x-axis. Right now I'm going to highlight all of our points that fell on the y-axis. After highlighting these points, I want you to start telling me a relationship. What do all 4 of these points have in common? All of the points that fall on the y-axis, I'd like you to describe a relationship. As the points are falling on the y-axis, I'm noticing that all of the x values are 0. Let's go back and take a look at the x-axis. On the x-axis, all of the points should also have something in common. On the x-axis, if you'll notice, the y values are 0. This is not just a coincidence. Anytime you are talking about what we call an x-intercept, the y value should be 0. If you're talking about a y-intercept, the x value should be 0. In these following equations, they're going to ask you to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept for each of the equations. In order to find an x-intercept, up above we noticed that the y value had to be 0. As you guys go to give your answer, you're always going to make sure that you're giving your answer as an ordered pair. You always want to make sure that the y value in your ordered pair for your answer, if you're talking about an x-intercept, it should be 0. So let's back up. In order to find the x-intercept, I want to insert 0 into the equation that's given. Everything else in the equation should stay the same. 3x minus 2. In place of y, we're going to put 0 equals 6. Anytime we multiply a number times 0, we get a 0. My equation that I have here is 3x equals 6. To get x alone, you're going to divide by 3. X should be 2 for your final answer. So it's not x equals 2 that we want to circle. Our x-intercept is an ordered pair. It has an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. 2, 0 is the point. We still want to make sure that we're giving a y-intercept. They also ask us for the y-intercept. We noticed up above that if we are lying on the y-axis, we need to make sure that our x value is 0. So in our final answer, our x value needs to be 0, and the y value will be some other number. I'm going to use the equation from up above. 3 in place of x, make sure you insert 0, minus 2y equals 6. 3 times 0 is 0. To get y alone, we need to divide by negative 2. Y should equal negative 3. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 3. In number 6, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to give an x-intercept where y is 0. Start forming your answer. Remember, x comes first, y goes second. And then we'll also take a look at your y-intercept, which is a totally different point, and your x value should be 0. So if I insert a 0 for y, my equation here would be 4x equals negative 4. If I insert a 0 for x, my equation just becomes y equals negative 4. Here we have one more step to solve. X is negative 1.